Mariana Zed says, a flour comes from a plant, sugar comes from a plant, and chocolate comes from a plant. So basically, a chocolate chip cookie is a salad. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I mean, they're not wrong, though.
No, it's not wrong.
Like,
chocolate's technically a bean.
Like they're onto something, actually.
This is like a nice little Mexican bean salad.
I think I'm going to go to Costco and I'm going to order myself a large salad. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Salads are amazing.
Yeah, especially when they're chocolate flavored.
Yeah. So Josh Barzin said, what's an opinion about parenting that will get you into a situation like this with other parents? People pointing swords at him. Matt says, my daughters are not only discouraged from college, they are forbidden.
How can you forbid? So the year that
DPS needs to look into this guy.
The year that your daughters will be able to go to college is when they cease being children, basically. They get to go to college because they have gone through the schooling system most of the time, and now they are considered adults. If your daughters, who are considered adults, are being barred from higher education, you don't get to make that call. Like, just as a baseline, you don't get to make that call.
Yeah, but if they don't know that, and he's raising them in a super isolated...
Oh, yeah, one of those fun scenarios where, like, technically you could always leave the abuser, but the abuser's engineered the scenario such that the abuse is your norm, so what? You don't know anything different.
Yeah, just like that cult that was featured in the... What was it? The 19 Kids and Counting? The Duggar family?
Mm-hmm.
The cult that they belonged to? Where, like, the women would get on TV and give interviews about how much they loved their life, and then they would occasionally escape from that life and be like, yeah, no, we were just saying what we thought we needed to for the cameras to keep the men folk happy.
Yep. Amazing how that works.
Mm-hmm. Quiverfull is the movement. There was a specific cult that they were associated with a specific guy.
Yeah, they are in the umbrella area of Quiverfulls. Absolutely.
Yeah. But they also had... no, they weren't NIFB. They had multiple wives.
Though, should be noted, the NIFB are also Quiverfullers.
Yeah. Goddamn, you guys are distracting me again.
Paige says, there's the risk of getting thrown out for going to college and never being allowed to return. Understandable, but again, let's say you're coming from a family of means. Secure your means, then leave.
Okay, so this is why I couldn't remember it, because the cult's name is the Institute in Basic Life Principles. And that's such a stupid name.
That is
Bill Gothard's cult. I know the name Bill Gothard. That's the one that I remembered.
Sarah says, yeah, that's Bill Gothard's cult. Yep, that's such a fantastic world we live in. Don't you guys love literally everything that exists in reality right now? All of it?
Remember how Bill Gothard went to jail for raping kids?
And yet somehow people are like, that's my leader. That's my guy.
Yeah. Next up, we have Giggling Ganon says, okay, this was a video of the guy in the screen right there. He's a judge, and some guy had a trespassing charge, and he was swearing at the judge, and every time he said, fuck you, the judge was like, that's another 93 days.
Mm-hmm.
Contempt of court. And by the time he was done, he had like 500-something days sentence. That doesn't particularly matter. I don't really care about that. But Mike Winger says, let's talk justice. Is it just to get 93 days in jail for cussing at a judge in court? I can't conceive of any way that this is just.
But the judge said, if you do this, I will hold you in contempt of court. And the dude went, well, I'm going to do it.
And then he got held in contempt of court.
Like I'm sorry, Mike Winger, but I can't conceive of a situation where somebody burning in hell forever is an adequate punishment for existing as a human, but you can conceive one. Weird.
The analogy I was going to go to is like, okay, what if I live my life and am entirely sinless for the entire life, except one time I say, fuck you, God. And I never ask forgiveness for that.
Well, that's different, though.
Now I get more than 93 days in jail. I get an eternity of conscious torment, according to what I believe Mike believes. I'm not sure if he is an eternal conscious torment guy, but I think he is.
Yeah, that's different. You can't.
Why is it different? I don't understand why it's different.
There is no reason why it's different, but that's what he's gonna say. Because when I was fucking debating him,
it's gonna be something about God being the perfect being and he's an infinite being, so a sin against an infinite being counts as an infinite sin or some bullshit like that. But that doesn't actually make sense if you think about it.
When I was on debate with him, and as I tried to go with the, hey, you believe that all people are created equal, everybody is like in the image of God, all that stuff. And it's like, yeah, I do. I believe that. Okay, cool. So why do you think different rules apply to gay people? And then, of course, James fucking saved his ass there. I'm always going to be bitter about that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was modern day debates?
That was modern day debates.
Yeah, James... I haven't seen a lot of them, but the ones I have seen, James does like to jump in right when the Christian's at a hot spot. Like, okay, time for a commercial break.
Let me just save the Christian. You don't have to do that, actually. Like, that's... You have other options.
Stop it.
Get some help.
Penny says, is slippery slope even a fallacy? I feel like it's a very real concept, a valid argument in many cases.
So the slippery slope fallacy is when you say point A necessarily leads to point B, and I go, well, no, there's multiple different point Bs we could get to. If you say it necessarily leads there, you've committed the fallacy.
It's not even that it necessarily leads there necessarily. No, it's like an argument from authority. Like, there's a fallacious argument from authority, and there's a proper way to use an argument from authority. So, like, a slippery slope is not a fallacy as long as there is actually a plausible way to get from point A to point B. It doesn't even have to be a necessary conclusion. It's as long as there is some plausibility there. But then you take something like legalize gay marriage and they'll be legalizing bestiality next. There is no plausible path from point A to point B. Those are two completely unrelated things.
You've just made it all the fuck up.
Yeah. So, like, I don't even know why those two things are connected in some people's minds, but like that is a slippery slope fallacy because there isn't even a plausible connection there.
I think it's because they view bestiality on the same level as homosexuality, which says a lot about them, TBH.
Yeah, I mean, you see it in the montage, in the genocide montage I have, where apologists, instead of appealing to God's character as being the reason why genocide was okay in the Old Testament, they appeal to utilitarian ethics in saying that the people that were genocided were so very bad that it justified the genocide. And one of the things that the guy says is like, okay, well, first it starts with homosexuality, and then it goes to bestiality. And it's just like, okay, well, why are those two things connected, and why are you putting them on the same level?
Yeah, there's no reason to do that, but you've got to pretend that they're uber bad, and the only way to do that is by creating a monster that isn't fucking real.
I don't know what the context is here, but apparently the Sex with Ducks song is good.
The Sex with Ducks song?
I'm not familiar with that song, but I do know they have corkscrew penises.
I am terrified of what I've heard.
The girl ducks have a reverse corkscrew vagina with several dead ends in it.
Yeah, those are true things. But you know, as with all things in the world, I have to ask, why the fuck are we talking about it?
'Cause it's in my head.
Okay, I'm glad that the duck penis is in your head.
It's so many penises are in my head, Cyrus.
Yep, I'm sure they are.
It's in my head. In my head. Zombie. Sorry.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not, because that's a good song. I'm sorry that I ruined it, because that's a good song.
Hey, you made it to the end. I want to give an extra thanks to the patrons who allow me to do this full time. I want to thank Aaron Rail, Astral, Britzkrieg, Jemshin, Poundini, Red Joker, Victoria, Jonas, Craig, Tarika, Fireshard, Smiling GM, John, Dren Hadamada, Creeper, Sagitta, you know I'm not saying that last part, Sylvie Snow, Valis of Seraph, Ottoman Angel, Rooster Rachel, and Fire Panda, who are all my $20 and up patrons.